Alright guys, welcome back to Schmattz Outdoors. We spent half an hour or so here trying to get my truck kind of ready for pole day. I'm not going to be adding any new sets today. Even if I catch a badger, I won't be adding a set. Most likely I'm actually just going to yank the trap if I catch a badger. But so what I did is I took out, so there's a tote right here. This one here had clean coyote traps in there. I took out of there. Right kind of below that, there's a milk crate that had dog proofs in it, a 220 NH stand, that type of stuff. Again, out of here. So you kind of see what I left in here. So I left a milk crate that'll be throwing, I just threw my raccoon bucket in there just to hold it down. But this will be for dog proofs and 220s, raccoon traps tomorrow, and maybe a few today. There's also another one on the other side over there. I got two totes here. The bottom one is dirty traps, dirty coyote traps. The top one is clean traps. I just threw one that I never even set in there just to hold it in. This is to scrape mud off my boots in case I do get muddy while I'm walking out to sets. We got my pole bar. Today I'm taking the coyote bag because I may reset a coyote trap depending on where they're at. And then this is my pole bucket. So a cable cutter in case I just end up cutting the cable stake, and my block that I used for my pole bar to give me so you're not pushing on the loose dirt. Obviously we're going to keep in the animal tools. So we got choke pole, 220 pole, my syringe pole's in there, and my stake driver. Stake driver is mostly in here just because I use it to kind of poke around to find where my set is. If it got worked under or, you know, snowed under or whatever, I use that to find it. I'll take all these stakes out of here. I don't need any of those. I'll do that when I'm not videoing here. Today we're pulling all the mink boxes and all the double 220 boxes. And I may end up pulling random sets here or there. I got one coyote set in mind that I'm going to pull that's going to be kind of a bunch of wasted time tomorrow if I leave it. So I'd rather waste the time today. It's just I got to walk quite a long ways to get in there to get it out of there. So we're going to do that one today. I caught a skunk in it early on. And I've had it there 3 different years now, and I've yet to catch a coyote in it. So I'm going to just mark that spot off as not a spot I want to be setting every year. Unless I happen to see a coyote run into there, it's around a little grove. If I see a coyote run into that grove, then I may think about putting it back out there. But I don't know, I don't like it out there. It's visible from the road real easily. So if I would make a catch, they're pretty, they're kind of out in the wide open. But so we're going to yank that one anyway. And like, there's one barn where I got the double 220 box inside the barn. I caught a skunk maybe even on like the first or second check. And then I caught a skunk back behind it here, I don't know, week and a half ago or so. There's 2 dog proofs there in that double 220 box. I'm going to yank all 4 of them, or all 3 of them, just so I don't have to stop there tomorrow. They're pretty easy to get too, so it's not like I got to go out of my way to get them, but it's just one less stop I got to make tomorrow. And I haven't caught a raccoon there the entire season, so the chances in the one last night that I'm going to be running traps, it's probably pretty slim. But otherwise I'm going to pretty much leave everything else. Like I said, I'm not going to be pulling a lot of gear. If I happen to have just a single trap and I got to walk out to get it and I make a catch out there today, or if it's unset today, I'm going to yank the trap. I'm not going to carry my bag out there, reset it for one night, and then we'll have to walk all the way back out there again tomorrow to pull it. So if I can tell that they're set off and they're ways from the road, we're going to yank them today. If I have a catch in them, we're going to yank them today. If I can drive up close to them, we're going to probably reset them. And if there's more than one trap there, we'll probably try to reset those as well. So Well, we'll kind of take those by ear, because I'm actually like not so upset. If I already have one queen trap still there and I make a catch, I may just actually pull the catch trap and leave my one queen set there. It all is going to depend on how close I can get to it tomorrow. Whether I gotta, like I said, if I'm walking a quarter mile out there and I have one still working, I'm going to leave it still working. I'm not going to pull it just because I'm caught a catch in the other one. So I'll probably end up remaking that one. But like if I can drive right up to it tomorrow, I actually may pull the one that has the catch and just leave the extra one there. So gonna miss out on a chance on a double, I guess. But as you see in my season, chances of that's not real good to begin with. So today it's warmer. It's like 30 degrees already today, which is, you know, nice. But we're getting a little bit of, like, you can kind of see the darker clouds off this way. Getting a little bit of spritzing, like you can see all the little spots on my tailgate just since I've been standing here. It's starting to sprinkle just a little, and there's supposed to be just a little wave of this move through. Hopefully it doesn't end up being too much, because I don't need muddy, you know, especially not today and tomorrow. It can rain after on Monday, it can rain till it's heart content, but just not in the next 2 days. So, but yeah, and then I also went in my truck and, you know, threw out the extra gear that I had in there. Like, you know, I have an extra sifter, I carry some split rings, that type of stuff, extra name tags, a kneeling pad. This guy here has been hauling around in my trap. I only use it on the first day of setting, and then that's it. But it's been riding around in there. Extra cable stakes, I had some of those in there. I had extra tools for hole pounding, and then an extra stake driver. If I'm not adding more sets, I don't need the extra hole tools and all that stuff. So just save me a little time tomorrow getting all that unloaded, because all this stuff's got to get out of my truck tomorrow night. So, all right, I'm starting to get wet, so we're going to shut you guys off and we're going to get out on the line. Hopefully I get wet while I'm taking a catch out of a trap. So, all right, guys, so we're 3 traps in and I got a catch. So, you know, could be a long day, but that's fine. What I got here is there's a big drainage ditch runs through. I caught my weasel down over here, the first one for the Grand Slam, right in the end of that ditch. Right over, let's see, right over here that you can see the edge of the grass. That's where I had that badger the first day that I set these traps, or the first check. I added one on this fence line. So this fence line runs like a mile that way up into those woods up there, and then it runs down, and then there's this chunk of CRP grass that they can't really get down into the corner to work this because of that draw going through there and how big the equipment is nowadays. And this fence line keeps running, and that ditch runs off this way. It runs all the way down to that big farm place way down here, and then this fence line runs for miles. But I got a catch right here. I have a coyote set right over here, and he's being camera shy now. He was all on edge standing up. Oh, he's got himself a hole dug there. So I got myself looking at the wrong end of that guy, hoping he's not back foot caught, but he might be. So I got just a little skunk in here. He ain't very big. He's on edge, I think, because of the wind blowing at him and everything else. So yeah, he's digging a little hole right there, which makes it that much funner to try and get him out of there. But I did not bring my coyote bag. I got my pole bar and all that. So we're gonna I use this fence post to mark my sets. So we'll make sure I grab that, because I do tend to forget them. And then what I carried out here, I got my pole bar, my syringe pole, and the acetones in the little jar, my block, cable cutter if I need it, a screwdriver, and my trapping hammer. So that's pretty much my pulling equipment minus the syringe pole. So basically that's what I'm going to be carrying. Like I said, it's nice to have it all in a pail, so when I get done with this, I can just throw it all in the pail. I'm not trying to hang on to that hammer and my block and all that stuff to carry it, so the pail is going to work out well, I think. But we'll get this guy dispatched. I got a catch for the morning anyway, or a catch for the day. And like I said, I only got one more day, so hopefully I'd only get skunked just the one day this entire season. But well, like I said, we'll get him out of here. Hopefully I can get him out of here without him spraying. If he sprays, he may just stay right where he's at. I'll get him out of my trap and we'll leave him right here on this fence line. If I can get him out of there, I'm going to take him home. He looks like a nice striped one, so I may try to skin him tonight. So, well guys, at this rate, I ain't going to have many traps to pull tomorrow. I'm only maybe a half dozen traps down the line. That barn is over here, and those cottonwood trees where I've made a few catches is right there. This set ain't been out here that long, probably. This is one of the last ones I put out, so it hasn't been here that long. It was set off probably like a day or maybe two after I set it. A deer had stepped in it, and the reason why I could tell a deer had stepped in it is you see what happens. That's my pan cover right there. It's a muffin wrapper. Well, that's pretty easily, I mean, from where my truck is parked, that thing just stands out. It just glows, even though there's some snow here. I know where my set is because the pole is right here, and if you see that thing glowing or setting somewhere, you know your trap's set off. The other day the wind was blowing the other way, so it was stuck down here, but today we got ourselves a nice red fox. Looks like a big fox, honestly. I mean, big, like one of the bigger ones I've caught, I feel like. But yeah, again, this is one I can't drive out. I mean, you could see the ice and water. It goes all the way out across this field. So I kind of had to walk on the ice to get out here. So you're not driving to this set. And I'm not going to remake it for one day. So again, I got all my pulling gear and a dispatch gear. If I had a coyote out here, I'll tell you, I may not even bring my pull bar. I may just bring my cable cutter and cut the cable stake off, because just that pull bar alone, it's solid steel bar, 1.25 inch round by 5 feet. That thing gets heavy by itself. Not to mention my catch pole and my pail of gear and stuff. It'd be a heck of a haul of carrying gear back and forth to get a coyote dispatched out here. But well, again, we'll have to kind of just take that by ear if I happen to catch one. But yeah, pretty nice looking red fox here. That's number 15 for the season for me. So just, I don't know, I haven't caught one anywhere as close to here. I was trying to think while I was walking out here, the closest one, and it may be like 5 or 6 miles from here, honestly, because this is kind of like just the beginning of my line, like a random spattering of traps to get me to my main line, let's put it that way. I have more traps from here, like south and to the west. To the north, I only have just a handful of traps just to kind of get me to here, because there's not a lot of features up that way, and then there's just not a lot of places where I can get permission to trap. So like I said, I don't know when the closest one is to here, so I don't really feel bad about taking the one fox out of here. So, you know, and I did catch coyotes on the other fence line over there, so, or maybe did I catch a fox over there? I don't know. I may have caught one over there too, but either way, this guy's gonna come home with me today, and like I said, we'll get him dispatched, we'll get the trap stake pulled, we'll get all the gear picked up, and we'll hoof it all the way back to the truck. This kind of sucks. Oh, the skunk. He sprayed like a fountain over and over again. He had, when I showed you guys, he had his head kind of down in that hole. I could not get him out of that hole. I even hooked my pull bar. I hooked one of these hooks onto the chain of the trap and tried to pull back just a little bit to get him up out of the hole a little bit. And I was going to actually put my bar in his hole to keep him from going back down it. And he actually pulled out of the trap and went down deeper in that little hole he had dug. So I injected him while he was in the hole. I don't know if I got him dispatched or not, but either way, he was out of my trap. He still was moving while I literally like carefully got up there, put my bar on my trap, pulled the chain, the whole works, and got the heck out of there. So he's still in his little hole, whether I got him dispatched or not. Either that, I released him, and I don't care to do that, but I had nowhere else to get rid of him or dispatch him, and he bent my needle over to like a complete over 90 degrees, so you can't straighten him back out, it'll just snap your needle off anyway. So I literally would have had to walk all the way back to the truck to either get a new needle or a different way of dispatching him. So he's there. He's not in my truck. My gear stinks. I actually think like there's some stink on my bar here. I noticed when I was carrying it out, and my syringe pole, he'd sprayed all over that. luckily there's a strong wind and I was upwind of him, so every time he would spray he wouldn't get real close to me, so I don't feel like I smell. But man, that area was ripe. I mean, he literally sprayed every last drop of essence he had, to be quite honest with you. He sprayed over and over and over again. Every time I tried to get even just touching like the grass that was by him, he'd be spraying. Like, he was super on edge, which I think the wind does that to him. So 2 of the 3 skunks I've had spray this year were that way. The third one sprayed, when I injected him, it had bent my needle, so when I went to pull it back out, my needle was like bent to the side and it tried to pull out like sideways, and then he squirted just a little right when I was pulling the syringe out of him. But anyway, back to the task at hand. We'll get this guy out of there and carried back to the truck, and we'll be on our way. We're still way early in the line to have a couple catches already, so it's the way I'd like it, all the way right to the end, be making catches to the last day. So, well, the end of the season seems to be turning out to be pretty good this year. Some years, it really tapers off and slows down, but it actually seems like my catch rate has even gone up here. Where I am, I'm back by this slough again. I was just looking, I have a queen set right there. I have this set that I had caught a badger in to begin with, and then coyotes and whatever. But over here, we got ourselves yet another coyote in this set. So I believe this is the 3rd coyote, and I caught a fox in this set. I caught 2 coyotes and a fox and a badger in that set, and I have a clean set over there. So again, I'm not actually even going to worry about remaking this. I got a clean set in this other set right here working still, so he looks like he's rubbed a little on the neck. Like, pretty much all the later ones here are already rubbed, which is kind of surprising to me. But like I said, we'll get him out of here, take a picture of him here. So yeah, finally putting some more coyotes in the truck, which is good to see. But like I said, we're not going to mess with either one of these 2 sets here. We're just going to pull this one and we'll be on our way. Up here by the farmyard, I'm going to pull a double 220 box up there and then 1 dog proof. And we already pulled 1 double 220 box and 1 mink box already in between the fox and this guy. So I like how now he thinks he's hiding. But anyway, so yeah, moving down the line fairly decently, but it's taking some time. Like I said, if I didn't have 2 other sets and 1 clean set, or 2 sets and one of them is a perfectly clean set, I would remake this set. But I already got 2 sets here. We're going to leave them 2 working. I don't know that it's worth the bait and lure to remake this for one night. So all right, we'll get him out of here and we'll get moved on. All right guys, we're still making our way through the line here. Got ourselves another catch. I got 1 mink box left to pick up, otherwise I got all those picked up. I did pull the 1 coyote set that I told you I was going to. That was really in a spot I didn't really like it there anyway, and it was set off in the trap bed anyway, so it may not have been working. Well, who knows how long it's been set off, but it wasn't working anyway, so I would have pulled it anyway had I been able to see that it was set off. So what I got here is there's a chunk of like CRP grass. They mowed a bunch of it again this year, but then there's these pine trees out here, and then all there is just this kind of rock pile on the end. And then back behind my truck there's a big wildlife that's actually runs for 3 miles by like almost a half mile or more wide, depending on where you are on it. But so what I thought, well, on this field that didn't get worked, we're just going to put it right on the end here. Normally I would have it up over this way farther, but I caught a fox here the first day it was set, and I had the farmer's dog that was right over here. I had one of his dogs caught in there, and I didn't think anything was ever going to mess with it again. I figured with that big dog stinking this thing all up, because he stunk, that I wouldn't make any catches. But sure enough, here we got ourselves another fox today, so that's 2 for the day. Second one in this trap, so this would be one that I would actually consider remaking for the one day, but I don't really want to catch any more fox here, so we're going to get him dispatched, and we're going to pull this set too. So this is be the only one that I would have probably left on a normal year, but I don't know, because that should be fox number 16 if my count is right, so I don't know. I thought that the coyote numbers were gonna outpace the fox numbers, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we'll get him out of here and be on our way. All right, guys, we made her back home. Everything checked, nothing in the pastures today. So, like I said, I only really pulled, I'm trying to think what I pulled, 4 coyote sets today. 5 coyote sets I pulled today. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I pulled 5 coyote sets today, so wasn't too bad. I mean, I still got, I don't know, 40-ish or so. I'm not even sure the exact number out. So the only one that I really maybe would have left was the last one. Again, because I can drive fairly close to that one. And then, but I have caught 2 fox in basically the last like 4 days, 5 days, whatever it is out there. So I really don't want to keep catching fox out there. So we're going to, like I said, I'll pull that one set, and I'm okay with that. I also, this is why I wanted to pull all the mink boxes and stuff today. I mean, I didn't even have that many of them out. So what do I got? 6 of them in here, plus these double 220 boxes. They just take up a lot of room, where tomorrow I'll have these 2 totes won't be sitting inside of each other. Still have plenty of room for catches, and then we'll get all those dog proofs out of that milk crate there. And then up in the front, I have my my raccoon pail for setting raccoon sets is that pail. We'll get that cleaned out of here too. I would like to I'll probably put like the fish oil and stuff down in my basement where I store all my bait and lures. My paste I make or whatever that I did the video on, I'll actually just throw that in the freezer, because it freezes rock hard, and it's plenty good to use year after year. So I didn't really use that much of it this year, so I probably have 2 good more years just out of the one batch I made. Normally I use a lot more, but I didn't remake a lot of sets, or I don't know why I didn't really use that much of it. I also am using Moonshine, which is Minnesota Trapline Products lure for raccoons. So I've kind of been trying that the last couple years. I think it works okay, but God, it is a mess to use. You can't really pour it, because when you stop pouring, every time it dribbles down the side. Every time I touch that bottle, my hands stink like it, So I don't pour it on my trap at all. I'll pour it on, like, if I have it tied off to a tree or close to a tree, I'll put it on the tree itself. Like I said, I don't want that on my actual trap, where my paste, it just rubs right off. It dries out eventually, and it will just kind of fall off on its own. And it's not permanently staining or stinking up my trap like that. So, but yeah, so we'll get the raccoon pail out of here. All these boxes I'll get put out of here after I get done skinning everything, and we'll get my truck basically prepped and ready to go for the morning. So it's going to be a long day on the line tomorrow. A lot of walking, a lot of carrying heavy gear back and forth. I got my pail all ready to go, so I got a hammer, my block, cable cutter. I threw in my little rope that I didn't have in here before, I realized earlier. And then I have a screwdriver in case I do want to just open up the split ring. So that's all I'm going to be carrying. I am not throwing my trapping bag back in. I won't be remaking any sets. So I don't need anything but that. So the pail I can carry nice and easy. We're going to leave the dispatching tools in here. I got to get my catch pole is still in my side-by-side. I'll get that hanging in here. All these poles I'll take out of here, because I'll have quite a few fiberglass poles and stuff to put back in here. So when I go dump all this off, we'll make sure I clear out all these. I use these metal ones for my mink boxes, and then these are used just for marking my coyote sets. And I had one of these holding like my box in place. But we'll give you a quick rundown of the catch. Let's see, this was the first fox, first catch. I did have that skunk. We talked about him a little already. I left him there. Whether or not I got him dispatched or not, I'm not sure, but he's there and he's in that hole, so we're gonna leave him there. But then I caught this nice fox. He actually doesn't have a lot of like the gray butt like this. You know, the difference is you look at like that one and then you look at that one, how much difference, how much more silver that one's got than this one's got. But he's pretty well furred. The only thing I noticed is on his neck, he's missing like a whole bunch of guard hairs right here on his throat. I thought maybe I did that when I was dealing with him, but there was no guard hairs in my trap or anything like that. So apparently he's just scratching right there and rubbed all of his guard hair off on his neck. I don't know if that will cause it to be a damaged pelt or not on the fur market, because they use the red part of it, not the white of the throat. But this was the last fox I just caught. Like, this one's got not a big white tip, but this one's got no white tip at all. He's got a couple burrs in his tail there, but he doesn't have any white tip in his tail. Again, this one here is quite a bit bigger. This is the last one. I thought this one looked like a good sized fox, but this one here is quite a bit bigger even. Let's see. They're both males, so I don't know. I'm glad I caught males because, like I said, I guess they probably breed in pairs, but I feel like females will have more little ones, where males, kind of one and done type of critter. So I don't mind. I'd rather catch males than females when it comes to the fox. And then I got the one coyote, but like I said, he's not a high dollar coyote by any means. He's missing a lot of guard hairs up around his neck and the top of his back. I mean, he's pretty well furred back here, but we'll get him skinned too. I'm not going to throw him out. He's still got some value to him. So glad to get another one anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I'm about the fox situation. Like I said, I got one more check left, so if I catch him, I'm not going to let him go. But we're at 16 fox, and I want to say I'm at like 17 or 18 coyotes right now. I'm not even sure the exact number, but it's good to finally be catching quite a few dogs. I've had 6 dogs in the last 2 checks now. One thing I was thinking about while I was driving around after I caught the second fox, I got like a kind of a long stretch in between some of the sets to get back to the house here. If I add up the coyotes and the fox I have this year, that's usually about where I end up for dogs for the end of the season. Last season was kind of an anomaly, but like before that I was catching in the high 20s for coyotes, and I catch like around 5 to 7 fox. Well, that puts me, right around 35 roughly dogs. Well, I'm right at that number again this year. So, I mean, just kind of switched a little bit from being mostly coyotes to being about 50-50. So, anyway. So, yeah, like I said, I got a busy day in the fur shed today. I got a bunch of fur I want to get put up, and including these 3. I don't know if I have enough boards for both of these fox, but we'll figure that out when I get to that point. But it's a good problem to have, catching too many animals and not having enough stretchers to get them dry. So yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys today. Like I said, like I said, we're gonna get these skinned. I'm gonna get all these boxes and stuff out of here, get my truck 100% set up tonight. So tomorrow morning, basically, I want to be leaving like at 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Today it was like 8:30ish or so, because I did dink around like taking some of the traps and stuff out. We're going to do all that today, and then, I can do fur shed work after it gets dark. So we'll be in the down in the basement. I call it my fur shed, but down in the basement, we'll be working probably well past supper time, getting animals fleshed tonight. But gotta get them done, get the work done. You catching them's the fun part. Doing the fur work, getting them ready to sell. That's kind of where the work really begins. But all right, I just want to thank you guys for watching Schmattz Outdoors again. We got one more check. Who knows what we'll have. It's the pull day. You know, kind of a sad day, but kind of I'm ready for it. My body is ready for it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, hit the thumbs up on this video. I got you plenty of catches again today. Otherwise, we'll see you out on the line tomorrow.